What if I told you that nothing is original? Everyone seems to be searching for the magic formula of creativity, the one way to get endless ideas and stand out. But there's this one key understanding that most people miss. I will show you exactly what this magic formula is all about in this video. It's actually not as magical as you might think, but you will see. So whether you're a painter, musician, writer or content creator, or actor, all of them have one thing in common. Those jobs require creativity and the demand for endless ideas. It's a form of art, and if you say now, I'm not an artist, I just work in a boring 9-to-5 day job, I'll tell you, you're wrong. Think of an engineer. Engineers need to come up with new ideas and innovative solutions to problems. Or something even more boring, an accountant. Even accountants have to come up with creative solutions to problems that they encounter. Of course, they are more limited since they have to stay within regulations, but even there is some sort of creativity involved. So in some way, we are all artists. Some are more and some are less. So we all have to be creative and somehow original. But as you probably know, it can be quite hard to be original these days. There's just so much content out there, endless hours of videos, books, musics, podcasts, articles and more. Hell, how should you come up with something new? I'll tell you, you don't have to. Because nothing is original. Nothing, even this video. I'm just talking what I've learned in Kleon's book, Still Like an Artist. He says everything has been done before. And yeah, it's true. Look for example at some music in the charts. Do you have sometimes the feeling that you have already heard a new song years ago? Well, it's likely the case, cause even the most innovative musicians have to get inspiration from somewhere. And well, more often than not, songs are heavily inspired by some work of someone else. And that's why Still Like an Artist is all about. By realizing that nothing is original, you take away the pressure of creating something new and innovative. Because you know, whatever you do has been likely done before. So simply create and add your own note and see where it goes. Also look at all the artists and creators out there, all the creative work that has been published. Even though it seems at first innovative and new, after you look closely, you will see that their work was inspired by someone else's work. Most of the times it's a remix of different artists and different styles. Look for example on the YouTube landscape. Matt Duvalla, a true inspiration for many of us, me included. But also he got inspiration from other creators, maybe Ali Abdaal or Thomas Frank, which are in a similar niche. But also they got inspired by someone else, maybe Casey Neistat, who basically invented vlogging, and he probably got inspired by someone else, and so on. So to keep it short, everything is a remix. Even the most creative people remix work of others and make it their own. So don't be afraid to do it as well. Ask yourself, what are your mentors? Who are you remixing from? There's the famous quote, we are the average of the 5 closest people around us. In the creative space, we can think we are the average of the top 5 people we are influenced by the most. By the way, in case I inspire you at least a tiny bit with this video, make sure to subscribe to my channel to let the algorithm know that this video deserves more attention. And of course do not miss any new videos out. Okay, you might be saying now, but I can't just steal from others. That's plagiarism. Well, you are right, but also wrong. Let me explain. So Kleon says there's a clear difference between stealing and plagiarism. Plagiarism is to pass someone's work off as your own. However, stealing is being inspired by your influences and giving credit to them. So let's take a car for example. If you just take a car, take the plate off and put your own logo on it, that's plagiarism. But if you take the same car, take it apart in all its parts, try to understand how everything works together and learn from it, and then build your own car from scratch, based on your know-how, that's stealing. There's this one quote from Wilson Misner which says it quite well. If you copy from one author, it's plagiarism. If you copy from many, it's research. So if you steal someone's idea, remix it with other ideas and make it your own. And if you still feel uncomfortable, think again about what I've said in the beginning of this video. Everything has been done before. So even the work you copy from someone else was already copied from someone else, and so on. But how do we create our own style, our own voice? Kleon says, go deeper. And not only deeper, but really deep. By studying your heroes and inspirations, you will find your own style. Take one of the greatest basketball players of all time as example, Kobe Bryant. He studied the exact movements and tactics of his heroes. and tried to imitate them. And by doing that, he found his own tactics and his own style. If you look at all other artists and heroes out there, you will notice a similar pattern. Okay, now I have talked a lot about what and how we can steal from others. Still, many of us have a common problem. They feel they're not ready yet to share their work because they feel they are not good enough, not unique, not creative. So there's this one quote that I really like. You don't have to be great to get started, but you have to get started to become great. And it's more than true. I mean, how in the world do you want to become a better musician or YouTuber if you don't start to make music or videos? The first ones will surely suck, but that's part of the process. You need to make the first ones to move on to the next level. By creating more and more, you will get better and better, until you suddenly realize that you're at the level of your heroes. So don't wait with your new idea, just do it and get started. Awesome Kleon illustrates in this diagram well how our motivation changes during projects. In the beginning, you're super excited about a new project. You think it's becoming the greatest of all time. But then you realize it's harder than you thought. It's much more work than you thought, it gets too much, and you're maybe thinking about giving up and never finishing it. Austin calls this phase the dark night of the soul. But if you decide to push through this point, even if it's not gonna be like you imagined, with the thought you're gonna learn something from it and you can improve it. You'll get it done and it might suck, but you'll realize it's better than you thought. And that's what it's all about, becoming someone who finishes what they start. Becoming a finisher. That's ultimately the only way to get better.
We do have one more thing.
Often we make our work more complicated than it needs to be. We add more and more elements because we feel there's still something missing. What we forget is that adding more doesn't necessarily make it better. Think of an editor. The best editors don't suggest to add this and that to the book, but rather cut out many parts that the author thought as necessary to tell the story. But well, they're actually not. Apple does this quite well. They focus on minimal design and only on the things that really matter. When creating the iPhone, Steve Jobs insisted in having only one button on the phone. Nothing else. Everything can be controlled through this one button. This was a total new concept since most phones at that time had buttons all around. So by focusing on one core element of your project, you will simplify the final message, which makes it more effective and easier to understand. So I know there was a lot of input in this video, but if there's one key takeaway, it's this one. Nothing is original, so don't put too much pressure on yourself by trying to be innovative and coming up with new ideas. Steal as much as you can from others and make it your own. That's the best way to stay creative and find your own style. But remember, stealing is not plagiarizing. Okay, that's it for this video. Thanks so much for sticking till the end. What are your thoughts on this video? Let me know in the comments. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button, cause you definitely don't want to miss out any videos. Okay, until then, see you in the next one.